There are 5 possible outcomes of the ongoing Presidential Election Petition Tribunal that is having its seat in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first is the dismissal of the petition. That is, if the petitioners, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and the Labour Party are unable to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt that the election result was manipulated, has been petitioned. Then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be declared legitimately elected, and we have to complete his constitutional 4 years tenure in office. Then the second possibility is the declaration of rerun election in some areas. Don't forget that some of the petitioners are in the court challenging results of the election in some states. So if they are able to convince the court may declare rerun election in those specific states. And the third one, which is most complex, is a declaration of runoff election. And that we have possibility of 3. That is 1. There may be declaration of runoff election between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Mr. Peter Obi. That is, if the claim by the Labour Party that it is mandated by the Constitution for the President of Nigeria to score 25% at least in the FCT, if it is a necessity and it is supported by the Constitution, then there will be a runoff election between the highest scorer in the election, who also have the 25% in total of the state, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Mr. Peter Obi, who scored 25% in FCT. But there is still a possibility of having a runoff between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Mr. Atiku Abubakar. That is, if there is necessity for a runoff election, and Mr. Peter Obi's claim that 25% in FCT is not able to be substantiated. That is, if the 25% of the total votes cast in FCT is not superior and it's not necessary, it's not compulsory to be scored by anybody to emerge as president of Nigeria, the runoff would be between Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Don't forget, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the first runner-up, will be the one to be involved in the runoff with the against the president declared. Then there's possibility of runoff between Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter Obi. That is, if the petitioner are able to get judgment, are able to convince the court beyond reasonable doubt that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ought to have been disqualified or need to be disqualified based on the entries before the court. So in the scenarios where the court was able to disqualify the president and there's necessity for runoff election, that the runoff election now be between Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter. Those are 3 possibilities where there could be runoff election. And the fourth possibility, the fourth possible outcomes of the Petition Tribunal is the fresh election. Yes, if the court was able to be convinced by the petitioners that the election were rigorously manipulated across the country, then the court may order fresh election across the 36 states, 774 local government areas in the country. And there is another possibility which may reverse the whole judgment, the whole petition time. That is, if the court give order for recollation of the election results, that's recanting and even reallocation of election results, like it happened during the Osun State Governor's Election Petition Tribunal, where the tribunal was able to reallocate the results when the petitioner was able to establish their ground before the tribunal. Don't forget, the petitioner later lost the case at the Supreme Court on ground of technicality, not on ground of being able to convince the court. So those are the 5 possible outcomes of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal that's having its seat in Abuja. It is either 1, dismissal of petition; 2, rerun election in some areas; 3, runoff election, either between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Mr. Peter Obi, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Mr. Atiku Abubakar, or Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter Obi. And the 4th is the fresh election across the country. And 5th is the reallocation, recollation, or recanting of election results. Thank you very much.